Hello, Making It Work tubers, and welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy Renaissance with me, BlueAnkylo. It's episode 5, so guess what kind of music we're listening to today? You're probably familiar. If not, well, maybe you'll get it eventually. Anyway, welcome back, folks. It's me, your boy, BlueAnkylo, your Ankylo, your pal, your Blue. So, last episode was a bit of a rough one. We managed to just barely fight our way through Volcano and Ice. Actually, the vanilla content wasn't too bad, to be honest. It was mostly trying to get these summons that I don't like, unfortunately. But, after a disappointing encounter with Ifrit, we beat Ice Cave, got promoted, which we haven't really had a chance to really test out all the new skills just yet, but today, for sure. And with some, mostly I'm going to say thanks to reserves on the Geomancer, which seems to be a mandatory ability that we maybe should have had from the beginning, suddenly we can make a little bit more versatility in our fight, in our party, which was something we were definitely lacking. One thing I'll note is we do have access to level 7 and 8 spell magic. We definitely learned those at a lower level than a typical mage. Typical mage progression is probably this. So if we pick up, the level 7 and 8 enchants, we can do that if you think it'll help. Other things that I've noticed, obviously there's more summons to find. I expect level 6 summons are perhaps water and air. We should be expecting, well, there's 6 more total. I'm pretty sure Bahamut's level 8, so that's pretty traditional. There might be like Phoenix for level 8, I can't remember. I expect a Leviathan in the water, probably. What else are we missing? I don't know. I could look it up, but I'm trying to play somewhat fresh. But yeah, what I want to start today actually is catching some monsters. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it all on camera, but we need to catch a whole bunch of different things, and I need to figure out how that works. So let's look at Imp, the very first enemy. Can it be controlled? Yes. It's got Poach. Does that mean that's the... No, Poach is the archer thing. I don't see anything here that flags catchable. Maybe if they're controllable, that means they're also catchable. We'll go test it out. Oh, one thing I was thinking, I don't know if the developer ever watches these or if anyone's going to suggest it, but a feature that I think would actually be really good on the bestiary is a way to filter it. Especially, like, for me right now, I would like to know what is catchable. So having, like, maybe, I'm not sure how you'd want to do it, either an option or a button you press on the bestiary, where it only shows you catchable enemies. Or there was a couple other flags I was thinking would be useful. For the archer, you could look for which poach drop it has, like only show enemies that drop wings, so you could actually go hunt those down. It would be very useful. Especially useful for blue mages for learnable blue magic. Just sort by learnable blue magic, and it would just show only the however many 1 page or so of that. Like, I feel like a filter for the bestiary would be really nice, especially with the new classes. And there's changes from the original bestiary, so even if you know NES really, really well, there's changes that you don't know, and being able to sort through them a little bit easier, I think would be pretty helpful. There's also no way to tab between entries, like L and R or left and right. If you have one selected, you could cycle through them all. That might speed it up a little bit. It's not like a huge issue, but I feel like the game has flags and variables set for these sorts of things, so it might not be very difficult to just have a few, maybe context dependent, like you only get those sort options based on your party. We've had other things like that, like the weapon shop. So if you've got a blue mage, you'd have the option to sort by learns blue mage magic. If you have a trainer, you have the option to sort by catchable or something like that. I don't know. It's just a little idea. That'd be kind of cool. A little quality of life. Anyway, let's get started. I am going to go to the imps, but I think we've got a fair bit of money because we've kind of been struggling a little bit. So we might as well do the bottle quest and get a protect rings for everybody like usual. Also, it is probably worth checking the swords shop because I always forget that the context is sometimes there's weapons here that aren't cat claws. Not today, though. So, sad. Well, that said, we need some money and we need some inventory space. So, what's worth holding on to? Nothing is weak to poison. Fire Sword is... pretty weak. I don't know. Definitely don't need the Giant Sword. I'll hold on to my Elemental Axes because they're still new for me. I've already got a spare Ice Sword. I'll hold on to my Elemental Bells. Should be able to get some value out of having those. The Earth, again, nothing is weak to the Earth element, really, so that doesn't really help. And no one can use that. So that just, basically, we'll have a little bit of space for new weapons, which I think is going to help. I expect, until I get a level up, I should probably be using the Ice Sword. And then once I get a level up, I'll get the same number of swings with the Tidal Sword. But we're also theoretically going to the Water Dungeon next, which is probably not very good for water, right? Meanwhile, in armor mode, we're definitely going to basically give everyone a Protect Ring. There's no way I wouldn't do that. We're also going to upgrade the Silver Bracelets. Alright, so everyone, that's a lot of our money, I know, but Death Protection and some extra Absorb is very good. We probably don't need Earth Resistance. I feel like that's an element that doesn't ever happen, almost ever. I guess maybe, strictly speaking, the Sandworms could use Crack and kill you, but other than that, you know, pretty weak. Okay, so that should cover all the weapons and armor we'll ever buy. That leaves us with not enough money for all the magic. Not that we have a lot of magic to buy, but we... not here. Or is it white magic? It is white magic, yeah. Still not here. We'll have to go to Onrak maybe to get the level 7 spell. And I think the level 8 one might be at Lefane. Nope, it's here. So we could just get light. When would this ever help us? Light element? I guess it would be holy damage. Normally that's not a NES status. But if we look at an undead, they are weak to holy, so probably every undead creature we could use that to do bonus damage. In terms of like important fights, that's really only the Lich. Technically weak to holy. But also we already have fire, so oh, Lich number 2 doesn't resist fire, or is not weak to fire, but wind and holy, I guess, theoretically. And then there might be some special fights in here that we'll get to. I mean, I guess we'll buy it while we're here. We'll probably get enough money for the other at the waterfall. So that's level 8. Holy Elemental. Yeah. Still not really convinced those are good, but I'm going to try to... At some point, I have to level them all up, because there's literally an achievement for mastering all of your Spellblade, and I did not do that on my first run, because, spoiler alert, I didn't think they were very good. But maybe this time we'll find a way. Okay, so that covers shopping. Maybe we do the waterfall real quick, and that might give us enough money to buy the level 7 spell. We should probably be, you know, doing stuff while we're traveling around here. Just testing our cool tricks out. We captured a gator. Seems pretty easy to capture things so far. I don't think I've failed a capture yet, and maybe that's because I have the whip equipped, but the whip is for controlling. I'm not sure how that works. There's also quests. I have to go back to Carnaria and try to remember what all the quests are. So... Interesting. I guess we could also put the Beastmaster in the front spot. Can we catch multiple beasts? Or does it just override the previous one? Yeah, so you can only hold one at a time. Makes sense. But you don't have to release them to catch a new one, at least. That's... If we're trying to catch one of everything, at least, which... At some point we're going to have to keep track of. If there's nowhere that you would... I can't imagine there's anywhere you can keep track of that, right? Is that little paw? Okay, you can see here the little paw on the picture. That probably is a symbol that it has been captured. Yeah, okay. And that's also a way to find out if it can be controlled. Rather than looking at the tag at the bottom right, if there's that little paw print, that should mean that it's both controllable and catchable. Okay, okay. Again, that's the kind of thing would be really nice to sort in the bestiary. Uncaught, an uncaptured animal or monsters or whatever would be very useful. So, okay. So catching them seems reasonable. What do you do after catching them is... I mean, we'll see. For the achievement, it's going to be not that difficult to catch them all over time, I don't think. Seems really easy to catch things. Ash has got the Master Ball on point right now. We'll see. We'll see what we can value out of that, though. For now, every time I see something new, I'm just going to try to catch it. If I have a fight where it's not something new, I'll throw it to see what it does. Or at least I'll try. That was our first fail. How dare you? Okay. And you get bonus XP for capturing them still, which is nice. Undead means we probably can't. So, we probably can't capture anything here. We'll go random summon, maybe. Yeah, random summon... I mean, that's a free regeneration, which is okay. So you spend a turn, throw out your friend, and then you control them as if you were controlling a normal enemy. Does Catch, like, resummon him? So you couldn't use Snorting... I was thinking the classic Beastmaster plus Blue Mage, you know, you could use this on an ally in FF5 to train them in Blue Magic, but you can't target an ally, so I'm not sure you could actually learn Blue Magic like that. Okay, so you can It's very interesting. I don't know if it's good, but it's definitely interesting. Yeah, you can summon them and then unsummon them, I guess, back to your Pokeball. We must have a Pokeball with us, seems to be the rule here. But instead of having 6 on our belt, we're only allowed to have 1. So. Gotta stop killing these new enemies. We need to catch them all. Okay, that'll do. Catch them all. It is nice to have... I think, again, the random summon on the Evoker, another one of those things, like, maybe we should just had from the beginning, because, like, it's not that strong. I feel like in some of these jobs, the promotion abilities are, like, that makes sense to be a promotion ability. In this group, I feel like a lot of the promotion abilities are, like, maybe we should have from the beginning. Even Capture... Like, if the job is capture every enemy once to get an achievement, do we really have to go back and catch an imp and a grimp and a wolf and a gerwolf and a werewolf and a bad pony? Like, all the stuff that is just going to run away from us at this point in the game? So let's see what happens if we end the battle with him not being re-unsummoned. Certainly hits as hard as Control. We still have him, so I guess he can die. Maybe when we died, when we were in the volcano, that released him somehow? Or maybe that was a bug, technically. So I guess control is still better in general if there's an enemy you want to use. I'm mostly capturing because it's, you know, gotta catch them all. But in terms of, like, combat effectiveness, removing one of the enemies is better than spending a turn to add another ally, right? So, -1 enemy is almost certainly the play. But I guess it's like the Geomancer. If you have a really good enemy, you can bring him with you into the next dungeon or something. So it's cool in that it rewards planning. I'm still struggling a lot to see as where that's going to be very good. I guess you could capture something with some cool skills. Like, could you capture a war mech and then just use nuclear? Also, first ribbon. Rydia, I guess? Yeah, I don't have anyone with life or anything, but we do have the ability to restore statuses with Unicorn and healing and stuff, so it probably makes sense for Rydia. Also the lowest HP at the moment. Okay, we got the defense sword. No one can equip, but it is still usable as an item and very good for ruse. What else do we pick up? Control whip. So what's different? The stun whip. Okay, I'm gonna have to look at my guide, because otherwise this seems like a downgrade. Whip, whip, whip. There's only 3 whips. Control on hit. Ah, interesting. That's cool. Okay, okay. It doesn't say hit control, but it maybe should technically then. Otherwise, I mean, I guess you'll figure it out via trial and error, but okay, is that everything? Defense, ribbon, control whip. Yeah, that's all we're gonna get from here. A couple more things to sell. We got that water glove, but I'm gonna say death protection is better than water protection, because basically nothing does water. I believe I need to still capture a cockatrice. I mean, it's... Yeah, going to the volcano might be one of the better locations, because it's kind of like having fire, too. It's not that strong. It's enough for the birds, but that kind of just messed up my catch. But I'm not... I didn't equip the fire bell, so... that would be the play. You'd want to... If you know... Again, like, it takes a lot of game knowledge, I think. Like, I'm pretty sure I can work it out, but I'll have to, like, actually stop and think and plan a little bit more than is usually justified. It's still weaker than just punching an enemy to death in one hit, right? Like, the classes that just kill stuff, I think, are still going to be superior in general. Unless I'm missing something. It would have to be incredibly powerful to justify saving the right... Because you have to repeatedly go... Well, the Geomancer one's not too bad, because you get quite a few charges as you level up. And you can bring a set of elementals from alternate areas, or healing or anything. Like, that seems pretty easy to use. The catching mechanic seems a little bit... I mean, you can reuse those as well. You really need to know what enemies are good to catch. Probably not a fish. I think we've caught a gator before. It would also be nice, I don't know how you could do it, but if there's a way in battle to show uncatchable, like, something to be like, we have not caught one of these yet, would be pretty good. I think we caught a Hydra already. Yeah. Yeah, so Geomancer promotion, I give it a... at least a B, maybe even an A. Because that ability, I think, is pretty good and not too complicated. Summoner level up, or promotion, not super amazing. Not an A, maybe a C. It's for the call ability is like okay, but catching enemies is so far more like a C. It's not really any better than controlling them. There's an achievement, so I'm going to be doing it. But I think I just have to be creative, right? We just need to capture something really good and use it. Like, before we go to the water dungeon, we're going to try to capture something that's going to be good in the water dungeon. We're going to get Geomancy set up as well. I don't know what that is off the top of my head, but we'll try. Okay, we should be able to get our last spell, Arrow Blade. Great. Okay. Let's go catch... So I just want to spend a minute catching some of the weak enemies, because I want to think about it. And I need something sort of redundant or mundane while I'm thinking. We're going to do Sea Shrine next. Most enemies are weak to lightning, and we really want lightning to... Although we have the Zeus's Gauntlet, but there's those red Sahagin packs that are unrunnable. Okay, we got the Niochu. But yeah, you need to know probably skills. Like, a good amount of HP would be helpful, so they don't die immediately, because I have a feeling that's the limitation, is once they die, then you gotta catch again. Good skills that are useful in the water. Lightning, of course. Ice is good for the water elementals, but that's only one encounter. And fire is good against the ghost, but that's only one encounter. So something for lightning, fire, water would be the standard useful. Or something that kills Kraken or something like that. Right. Collecting swords. Go to Gaia. We could definitely go to Gaia. We can show this off if you want, but we're not going to do that yet. Okay, the quests are simple enough. Go to Gaia and just keep playing the game, basically. I'll show you the Provoca one. We actually ran into this guy already, but we weren't promoted. So I actually think this would be a bad idea, but... El, you're an elementalist. Have you come across any elemental bells? If you give them to me, I'll make it worth your while. So you can give him your bells. He doesn't give you anything until you give them all 6. So if you want to take advantage of elemental weaknesses, maybe don't. Now, Earth is so niche that actually I'm going to give him the Earth Bell. That's the first one on the list. But theoretically, I don't want to give up Ice and Fire, because we should be able to use those a little bit. I hope. Also, while I'm in a town, I want to clean up my inventory a little bit here. Armor's fine, but we got to sell some weapons. I think the stun whip is pretty much trash. I don't know if it stunned anything ever, even a single time. So you get out of here. I'll hold on to some elemental swords for now. Confused staff? No. I didn't need to sell it. I could hold on to it. Maybe I should have equipped it on my summoner, but... It's a status effect to confuse. We have a non-elemental confuse, which is going to be better 99% of the time. Okay, so we need to do some catching. These enemies will probably run away, but hopefully we'll get one. Honestly, I'm impressed. So, it shouldn't take too long. There's, was it 90 total? We're not going to be able to get the full list until we... The last one will probably be the Iron Golem at the bottom of the Temple of Fiends Revisited. And that one sucks. That's not going to be a good day. We need a regular imp, I guess. Okay, so then we need Creep and a Mad Pony. I'll get like some of the early game ones while I'm thinking here. It's a bit monotonous. Yeah, iguanas and stuff around here. There's a Mad Pony as well, which is good. In fact, I don't want to kill them because they might start running. Alright, we got our pony. We should also be able to find an iguana around here. I feel like these would be completely useless in terms of actually, like, fighting with them. I don't think we caught a Gerwolf yet. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not 100% sure on a normal wolf either. But if I catch a wolf, at this point I'll say I've got all of the starter enemies except for the iguana. Okay, that should be... And a creep. Creep and an iguana. But we can get creeps over by Elfland as well. Oh, well, you just get him here. But yeah, I feel like... Oh, of course that's going to happen. There's basically no value in using, honestly, like 99% of monsters. Maybe not 99, but like 90%. So what could we catch right now that would help us in Water Shrine? I mean, you can catch stuff in Water Shrine. Maybe a Naga, because they get lightning too, I think. That might be as good as we get. I guess you could go like a Fire Dragon, Red D, or Ice D. Probably the dragons are good to think about. So we got the iguana. Next up will be snakes. Oh, there is normal spiders, which are kind of rare. I think they're only up here, either outside or inside Temple of Fiends. Don't think we can catch bones. But yeah, basic spiders are actually kind of rare on the overworld. There's not very many of them. I did not catch one of these yet successfully. Probably shouldn't be running when I'm trying to catch them. Okay, we got a creep. Zombies are undead. Not sure why you can't catch an undead. That should be allowed. If you can control a full dragon, why can't you control a zombie? So that was the spider we needed. Unfortunately, he just ran away. This gives me good practice at knowing where all the enemies are. And I'm trying to think of skills that are good for capture. A lot of enemies in the water dungeon are strong to fire, so the red dragon is amazing. Maybe the Frost D is the way to go. We could also try to catch a gas dragon. They do exist in the waterfall. They're pretty rare, though. But basically nothing... Well, no, there's things that resist poison elemental, but it does a lot of damage. It's a good one. Zombie D's not that great. Can't really get a blue dragon yet. That would be the lightning version to get thunder. But that's... Well, we'd have to, you know, go to Mirage first, and that's sequence breaking a teeny tiny little bit. What else do we have access to? Spiders, clearly. No spiders. Now, I wonder if the encounter rate for spiders outside is more likely, but I know they're pretty rare. Like, they're nothing special, and it's just annoying. The completionist in me is going to be frustrated. I'm not going to spend the whole episode on this. Obviously, we're already halfway through. But, maybe I will, but I might have to do some of these gotta catch them all quests off camera. Okay, don't run away. There we go, we should be fine. Alright, we got our spider. That should be everything from the starting area. Now we go to Elfland, and we should be able to catch all the stuff down here. We're looking for asps, arachnids. There's one. What else are we missing? Werewolves. So no humanoids, no undead. Arachnids are going to be around here. Werewolves are around here too. There's the werewolves. Wait, did the asp... Did I just see his friend escaped? Well, that's a pretty significant penalty. I didn't call him, he just... We got hit or something and he just ran away? What's the purpose of that? That's just gonna make me dislike the trainer even more. If they just randomly leave you, then I can't even rely on it in the dungeon. Like, it might... It's like Shadow in FF6, he just disappears when he doesn't want to work anymore. Interesting. We still need the arachnids. Anything else? I feel like it's just the arachnid left. Can't catch ogres or grogers. Geist don't count. Got the wolves, got the imps. Yeah, I think that's the last one in Elfland. I guess technically you can fight scorpions over near Marsh. I think there's arachnids here, probably. There's definitely scorpions once in a blue moon. And then, I mean, at some point I'll have to go into the dungeons and try to find what all we can catch in there as well. I mean, maybe we just spend today just goofing around, I don't know. Also, it might be faster if you get a bad encounter. Well, this is a good encounter. But it might be worth just resetting, basically, rather than fighting it out. Because these fights don't give us any experience. Okay, that's basically all the overworld enemies up to Elfland. Not including the water enemies. We could probably do the marsh ones, seeing as I'm here. I don't know, are you guys really happy about my Pokemon adventure? We can fight most things on this floor, except undead don't count. So all we're looking for is probably slime, muck, assuming we can catch those, crawl, scorpions, although we can get the scorpions by Crescent Lake if we want. I guess the wizards might be catchable. They're probably catchable. Yeah, because we could control them, so that should be Pokeball. There's the scorpion. I guess technically there are, is there Cobra Trap Tile in the locked chest at the bottom? I mean, we can get those at Earth as well, but... I'm pretty sure we can catch the slime monsters, but I won't know till we try. Like, I won't know for sure. We're not in a huge rush, but the music makes me want to go fast. Okay, yeah, we want to learn about mucks. Also, I did see that little arc. So sometimes you catch a monster, and it runs away the next fight. Like, that's not promising for my plan. Trying to bring a monster that's valuable into a different dungeon. Why did we win? We didn't kill the arachnid in that fight. Did we control it, but he didn't turn sideways? Or flip left? Got the crawl. That's everything but the green slime, I think. Gargoyles, maybe. I guess gargoyles and green slimes. I guess we could have got a gargoyle back in the Chaos Shrine. If we don't get a random one on our trip here, we can do that. I feel like it'll make more sense to do this Gotta Catch 'Em All sort of in order, because I know pretty well where all the enemies are. And rather than trying to come back and do it later, or just randomly without like making a point on it. But yeah, if they've run away, I don't know about that. Now, do I remember which room has the cobras? I think the one to the left, actually. It might be... Well, this is my green slime / scum. This should be everything except the gargoyles. Nice. Yeah, how come that fight ended? All we did was capture the green slime. The arachnid, like, I think that's a bug, right? Okay, this is wizards, not... We didn't do anything to... Is the Beastmaster not really fully play-tested, or am I doing something weird? Because yes, if the enemies are controlled, that counts as defeated for battle, but... Caught all... Oh, there's spiders here? I forgot about that. We could have come here for spiders. They're in not in every formation, but there are a couple formations that have chance of regular spiders. That's fair. This is cobras, right? Nope. I guess you can hit things and get a control, but... That's good. We got to see the cool whip work. The cool whip. Okay. I mean, we are getting some levels here. There we go. That's the snakes I was looking for. So other than the gargoyles, which we can get elsewhere, and we can get the cobras elsewhere too. I think that's everything up to Marsh now. And it escaped immediately. We caught one and it left the second, like the first turn. That's really not a good sign. It's not even at the beginning of a battle or when we take damage. They just escape. Maybe our level, like, so these enemies, this is giving me a really bad feeling because these enemies are weak. So like if there is like a calculation based on your level, the higher your level, the less likely they are to escape or something. We should be pretty good here. Like, you know, we're ready for Water Shrine in terms of levels. Level 20, nearly strong enough to go to the final dungeon by most measures. Mid-20s, I think, is pretty standard to go to Topher. Unless you're a speedrunner, then you can go even lower. But hey, we're not worried about that. So no gargoyles. Maybe I'll get the gargoyle and then I'll stop my Gotta Catch Them All quest. We can maybe spend a bit of each episode doing that. But it's also good science because I didn't know they ran away so regularly. And maybe that's going to change my opinion on whether I want to use these. It's not looking great. But I guess if we're going to go do the Water Shrine, what I'll do is... I will try to catch a red dragon, which unfortunately means I have to go all the way through Volcano again. But I think being able to maybe kill ghosts in one blast is maybe worth it. Because they're probably the most dangerous thing we're going to find. And then in terms of terrain, we could just take the volcano terrain again for fire on the Geomancer. Or we could pick up ice, which would give us the option for water elementals. I mean, maybe that's a way to do it. We get fire and ice. At least the Geomancer ones are very easy. You just do that. And it's probably based on your level, how many slots you have, right? So as our level goes up, you know, we'll get more from that. At least those don't run away. More credit for... Does it show you how much is left? It doesn't show you how much is left. But we can figure that out. Yeah, Geomancy you can set up in advance, and then you just have a limited number of charges. But the... I'm just gonna go to the guaranteed dragon. I know there's a chance we'll run into one on the way down. I guess we'll catch anything we can on the way, but I'm not specifically gonna try to catch everything right now because we've already done enough of that. But I feel like the dragons might be about as good of a creature to capture as anything, unless they run away immediately, in which case sucks to be me. I don't think you can catch these. Yeah, humanoids, strictly speaking, even though they technically like demon giants. I mean, we could catch an Agama. They're not very strong, like, as a use. But if we can catch, like, half-ish of the total monsters today, I'll be pretty happy. It escaped. Did it escape immediately? Okay, I don't like that. Like, how are you supposed to get any value out of a creature that just immediately runs away? Like, I spend an action to catch it, it leaves. And sure, we don't have to fight it, but like... Debatable value. So far, I would say, as the kids say, the Beastmaster is pretty mid. Like, he's not trash, but pretty mid. And then the Spellblade might be trash. I'm not finished yet, but... Okay, technically caught an Agama. You do get the bonus XPs, that's something. I guess I didn't need to go do the Agama grind spot, I just needed to come here. You just control, it doesn't really matter. But we're gonna bring this guy with us, or we're gonna try. Because he's gonna have access to a very powerful fire attack. We'll probably just end up killing it, but that's, if we kill the first one, that's a message to the second one to not run away or it'll get killed, I guess. You saw what happened to the first D. And the second D. Everyone's favorite heal potion grind. Spam the potions. Alright, get in my Pokeball. Not weak enough. Freaking, where's my, where's my, what is it? All the grass Pokemons that got the sleep powder? That's the one. Or what's the one with 100% sleep? It's not, sleep powder's like 50% or 75% or something. Okay, we have a red D. Let's see how long we have a red D. Didn't escape yet. That's a good start. Should I bother to go to Gaia? I mean, this is where some ice spells would be good. I mean, I guess it doesn't really cost us anything to recharge. Yeah, I should be fairly flexible with using Geomancy. Once you've got the airship, and this is another reason I think you should probably have this ability at pre-promotion, because it's harder to use without an airship. Once you've got an airship, it's actually very trivial to just pick up whichever element or terrain type you like and just fly it over to whatever dungeon you're going to. Early game, it would actually add a little bit more tactics to be like, do you really want to walk all the way over there to pick up that ability or not? You know? In terms of progression, we have 33 out of 90. Obviously, that's going to be a project. I'm going to take a short trip to Gaia, although I'll save it first in case this is a waste of time, maybe. Or if my dragon runs away. Oh, I'd like to be catching these guys too, but we'll save my dragon. If we hit him, he'll go under 300 maybe. No. Turn order not in my favor. Oh yeah, you just use control. Good, don't forget about that. You don't have to catch him. Cannot be controlled. At least our general Geomancer damage is going up. So, I guess if I'm specifically bringing ice, we want to keep the ice bell, which will make our ice special ability a little stronger. Now, yeah, we might need the translation for this. I just, you know, curious if that's necessary. I don't know why I can walk through these people. It's very strange. Stop walking through me, bro. Okay, I guess I should have expected that. Unless there's someone else hiding. Okay, we'll have to come back with the translation. That's not very far away. We'll just walk back. What's another couple of minutes in an episode where we've done basically nothing? We did do the waterfall, right? And I'm learning how my skills work on camera. Definitely slower than some class compositions, some group compositions. The real question will be, do I still have my red dragon by the time I get out of here? He's already gone. What a... Okay, this ability is stupid. So dumb. What's the point of it? You can catch them, but then they just run away before you can use them anyway. There's no actual tactics then, because you can only catch what's in the dungeon. And then it just runs away anyway. That's not impressive. I was not expecting that they would just randomly disappear. Like, I was sort of thinking, you know, because we have, maybe we could get like a war mech or something, right? And then you'd be able to bring a war mech around. You'd have a lot of health, so you'd last a while. And you could do a big nuclear attack. Kind of like Blue Mage gets those eventually, right? I'm like, that'd be pretty good. But now I'm like, I think it's trash. I could also see my random call summon using randomly Ruby Light like that, and then reflecting, you know, my own heal spells easily. You know, I never technically looted all these places. We didn't really need them. I do like to pick these up usually when I get my airship. Although there's not really... Unless you're playing the randomizer, you know, there's not really much to get. I think in the remakes there's like X potions and elixirs and stuff, so they're a little bit better. But all we're going to get is like 20 or 30 grand total. I guess if you've got a thief, you can search around and get some other junk. Well, I'm Soria too. You could probably bring one of these and kill Tiamat, or you could try, but if they just run away, it's never going to work. But yeah, they've got the stone effect, which is pretty good against a couple bosses. So I'm kind of feeling like my Beastmaster's an inferior Blue Mage right now. Like, significantly worse. Can do kind of the same stuff in the long run, but is just worse at it. Control is, like, decent, but it doesn't work on everything. It doesn't work on bosses at all. Like, I think the biggest problem is he's got nothing to do during boss fights. Catching an Ankylo sounds dangerous. Don't try this at home. It's probably going to turn on you. I don't know if I've caught one of these yet. For now, we're just catching everything, because they run away anyway. What's the point? That's the problem, is now I'm demoralized. It's like, what's the point of trying to hold on to them? They're just gonna flee anyway, so. Well, let's try to get a little bit of the Water Shrine done today. Maybe just do the Mermaid Shrine bit. I don't think there's any loot that's worth it. I mean, we'll catch all the stuff while we're here at least, but he escaped immediately. I mean, it removed him from the battle, so good. But, like, could have just killed him. Unsuccessful. I have a feeling that mechanic is too strong. The caught monsters fleeing. Unless there's some way of lowering the odds of that. Like if there's some equipment that helps or something, but... so I've only caught a sea troll so far. I'm not going to spam it too much, but I want one of everything. And I guess technically I have access to my ice. But now I don't have access to the... So, okay. The fire geomancy would have been way more valuable, as it turns out. Because I'm worried about the ghosts. I'm not as worried about the water elementals. Like, they're annoying, but the ghosts hit way harder. I guess for our second trip, maybe I'll go to the volcano. Grr shark. Grr, I'm a shark. By the way, water. We have single target water, AoE water. Reduce... Oh, that's pretty good. That's similar to the Dancer ability. And reduce magic damage for allies. That's pretty good, too. Although there's not a lot of enemies that use magic in here, so it's not very good. But there's lots of strong physical enemies. So, you know, there's some interesting things here. I'm pretty sure there's a water... bell in here somewhere. The water bell is basement 2. So this is our ghost floor, but we also get the... Yeah. I was hoping to get the mage staff in time. I did not. You know, I'm just gonna Geostorm this first fight. Freaking ghosts, man! Every time. Our group is weak. I think I gotta say it. This is not a good composition. The Spellblade is basically dead weight. I mean, he hits reasonably hard, but he's pretty weak. And then the Geomancer's okay, but you really have to work. And I don't know if these combo. It says Geomancy, but you know we can science that out a bit. The light axe is barely worth my time either. But yeah, the Beastmaster, I was kind of excited for a second to try to capture cool monsters and then use them later. Because you do lose a turn to some of them in battle, so it's still not amazing. But it's even worse because they just run away, so... I don't really have any... Well, I guess they're not specifically resistant to ice, so... Get through here. We just gotta get our slab and get out of here, I guess. I still think this is not a very powerful spell. Like, that might be equivalent to Ice 2, give or take, but it might be a bit weaker. Alright, Mermaid Floor. Opal Bracelet for sure. We will give that to Rydia, I guess. There you go. Best armor for a mage. Ancient knife, no one can equip, I don't think. I don't actually think we can equip the opal gear at all. I mean, we can pick it up to test, but no one can use this. Whatever those are called, the scarves. Oh, you can equip opal. Well, that's neat. It's so weird. Like, the Spellblade can't equip heavy armor, or the Mystic Knight, or well, the Spellblade was the lower one. They couldn't use iron, they couldn't use the fire armor or ice armor, but now they can use the opal gear, which usually even a ninja couldn't equip, right? Like, they were knight only originally, and then even in... I don't think the Dragoon could use opal gear. Or maybe it was the Dark Knight, but it was still, like, not all fightery heavy armor classes could even use these. And the Spellblade doesn't even feel like he's heavy armor. Now, I actually probably prefer fire ice at the moment. Fire armor, ice shield, because the elemental protection's pretty good. And having like +2 absorb, or whatever it is for the opal shield, probably not worth it. We should get the opal armor though then. That's an upgrade if we can equip it. I mean, sure, he's dead, but he's dead, Jim, I know. I gotta walk through the scary floor again. I don't know if I should be running or whatever, but... Yeah, no access to warp or exit. Bad for our team. This fight, once again, is brutal. Can't control, can't catch. Even if you had caught something, they tend to just run away, so... I gotta say, Beastmasters are starting to look like they're maybe F tier after all. I had hopes for a second, but... This fight, I think we can confuse them. We just need to cast the spell. Okay, that'll protect us pretty well. I don't think the Mage Staff is getting boosted by the Flame Bell. Just didn't seem like enough damage. 150? Maybe. So they're weak to fire. Fire should be 20 to 8. Fire 2 should be 20 to 80. Weakness should add 50%, which caps it at 120, I think. So if we did more than 120, then that might be using our the elemental boost from the bell. Maybe. Okay. So, hopefully we can use the dragon armor then, which will give us the full elemental swing, maybe the Aegis shield. Maybe we'll start feeling a little bit more like a knight by the end, but... This is bad. Yeah, I mean, every time we run into ghosts, there's a chance we just lose right here, basically. Okay, that's just normal Mage Staff damage. We did do 158 on one of them. I don't know why, but... That's more than should be possible with Fire 2. But... I don't know. Maybe that's just the intelligence boosting it. It doesn't seem like my average damage is anything special. Like, it feels very much like a normal Fire 2 against something weak to it. But I'm not a huge fan of these kind of, I don't know what you call it, opaque abilities where they don't really tell you how they work. Maybe I should be doing some geomancy stuff, or I don't know. I'm feeling kind of let down by this party, is what I'm saying. I think I wanted to really show off, like, you know, more of the cool jobs. Like, when I pick, like, the whole point of Renaissance for me is seeing all the cool new abilities and jobs and trying to find synergies. That's definitely what I'm enjoying. So I'm glad I picked some new jobs that are different. But I actually don't have a regular shark yet. That's something. But it's kind of reminding me of some. Maybe we go for a ram move just for fun. FF5 job weaknesses where some just suck. I mean, the controllability is still decent, you know, when it works. I guess we can control when we attack anyway. It would be nice for Ramu if there was, like, some way to summon them faster than just every second turn. I don't know, am I making too big of a deal of it? Is it really not that big a deal to wait 2 turns? When your group sucks and you have no way to kill things... I mean, even here, it's a complete waste because we got the control. So by the time the summoner had a chance to get a turn, everything was dealt with. That's kind of my problem, right? Like, it seems very unreliable when you have to wait so long. Anyway, we are over an hour again. Dang. I do not feel like I made very much progress today. Can we do a little bit more? I think what I'll do... Because I'm pretty unhappy with my party. Let's go see what the Beastmaster quest is in Gaia. Because if that doesn't help him, I don't know what else I can do, basically. I unequip my ice spell, but I might as well use what I can here. I mean, it doesn't even matter, right? Everything's... If you just had a good group... Did I forget to change my weapon or something? I mean, the ice sword's the strongest base. I don't have access to, like, lightning, or... I could do fire against the ghost, I guess, but... You don't know what you're gonna fight until the random encounter starts. Anyway, let's get our translation done. That's easy. I also haven't done any of my Spellblade boosting. I might have to do that between episodes, because it's going to take forever. 50 points per... Maybe I'll show that off on the way over here, at least. This is another one of those, like, I'm not sure this is worth... I feel like this party, everything is not worth the hassle. Getting those rare summons that aren't very good, barely worth the trouble. Capturing all these monsters, not really worth it. Geomancy is a bit closer to value, at least. But, like, we need to use each of these and get 50 points worth of kills. So, like, Ankylos are apparently weak to fire. Or, sorry, not fire, water. So we go water, and then we try not to die, basically. You know, slow, sure. And maybe we put on, like, Golem or something. But if I kill them with someone else, then it's wasting... Like, we're not going to be getting what we're trying to get. Control technically breaks that as well. Yeah, you can't stop controlling. I guess you could control them and then catch them, but I don't know if that makes any difference. I just want to make sure I show you how the water sword thing works here. 3 hits, 149. Still not amazing damage, right? Like, that's with water elemental. Okay, so what we got there was 5 points of progress, I think. So if we do that 10 times, we will upgrade our N water. This one would be fire. So in theory, like, if everyone else just sits around and does nothing, and we're strong enough that we don't die, you could have your Spellblade just grind this all out. And maybe I will do that between episodes, because I feel like this is going to be absolutely monotonous garbage to do live. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Shouldn't kill anything, though. It would be easier if I had haste, or some way to, like, guarantee we one-shot enemies. Yeah. I guess it might be a bit easier to do if you're doing a solo run with a Spellblade, but that sounds like pain. I actually don't think it takes a lot of time, but it's a very specific kind of weird grind. Otherwise, we're never going to kill anything. Like, I feel like if you just play naturally, you will barely get any level ups on the spells. This is, you basically have to very specifically focus this. And sure, that got me 20. That's like a, a third of the way on one fight. Like, that's not too difficult. Maybe we get the fire one live, and then I will do the others off camera, because I basically need to find enemies that are weak to an element, ideally, and then grind against them until we get to the level up. And the better our base weapon, the better. So maybe we want to get the Sun Sword anyway. Assuming we can equip that, it should be a fair bit more damage and swings. So that should be 30 out of 50. Let's see if the Beastmaster can do anything. I think there's an extra person to the left. It's one of these, right? That's normal. That's normal. Okay, so far, all the usual dialogue. Okay, go around there. That tree shouldn't exist, by the way. You get blocked by the NPC there all the time. Story, story, stories, all good. Oh, I forgot to check. There might actually be a summon available here. Yeah, okay, well we could do that. But I was looking for... What do we get for the Beastmaster? I was told there was something to do here. Did the quest giver lie, or am I... I'm sure they said someone went to Gaia. I mean, I've got the Beastmaster up front. Blah, 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 airship. This is the quest for the Paladin. Light Warriors. I feel like these are all just default conversations. Yeah, I mean, I don't talk to these guys very often, but... So far, I'm not seeing it. Okay, well, no luck there. But I did see, which is good, technically speaking, I missed this when we came here the first time. Technically, there's an Astral, so there's another summon. Might as well try it. Not a great start. just saying. Not quite what I was hoping for. We literally just died to these guys a minute ago. Oh, good. There we go again. Oh, did I save before I came into this place? Freaking I didn't expect ghosts to just one-shot me here. Come on. Light Warriors. Exactly. I don't really feel like a Light Warrior today. Light chumps. Is this group just actually bad? I care not for the prophecies of man. Prophecies have failed before. My only concern is for the protection of the last remnants of the Leafinish people. I don't know if there's any chance of winning this without Rydia, but I'm kind of expecting we're going to die and have to try it a second time. But that's the sparkles in the fountain. It's sneaky. So I don't remember which one this is at all, actually. Could be any summon at this point. Are you strong enough to prevent calamity? Let's go. Fenrir, right? Interesting. Shadow Image. Okay, so it gives you Blink. So very bad for melee. Basically, we'll just miss immediately no matter what. Now we can technically Runic, because a lot of those guys have magic, which will insta-kill us. They are technically all humanoids, I think? Do I still have an animal captured? I don't even remember. I think Runic stops these. Maybe we go for like a Geostorm. Okay, that's decently effective. Oh, you can control them. That's interesting. Because they're, I thought they were like elves, technically. We might just stay on Runic here for a bit. Maybe we can pull this off. What do you got? Bunch of spells. But because of Runic, we can't... This is interesting. None of these are gonna kill us. So we don't need to use a Runic. I have no idea what Fenrir's weak to. Fight plus? What is that? Do I just hit everything? I thought you still had to single target. That's weird. Let's use... It'd be funny if you could remove resistance from the boss. Let me give my party some invisibility too. And we're not currently affected by Runic, so we can try Astral Shift. Okay, so we swung and hit everything for 0. Awesome. Okay, we did get our evasion. Beastmaster, doing more than I was expecting. We really do need to kill these, though, I think. Maybe we can just stack some invis while... I think the biggest threat is actually just physical attacks, because the mages that had the rub and lightning are dead. We probably can win this. Because they're not going to have a lot of damage output. That sucks. So much for that. Let's try to Runic again, maybe go for another control. We don't really do any magic damage because Rydia's dead, because Ghost killed her. Yeah, we need to get some healing. Don't have a lot of healing options yet. I guess I did have my fire ones. Damage up is... Actually, Whiteout Silence would be really good if it hits. And we're dead. Great. We silenced the boss! Okay. I mean, the turn order has been crushing me. Because we could have saved Signer with the Cure 4, but of course we didn't get a turn. So, now what we're missing is physical defense. And also, you know, everyone's practically dead. I'm trying, guys. It's not helping. I mean, being able to control them is good, but we need to kill them. I don't know. I'm worried that the boss is still going to be able to damage us down too quick. Because we don't have a lot of physical protection. I mean, the damage up is something, but... I don't know. How much damage can we do with ice? 100? Eh. I think we really need to go for, like, Invis to try to not get insta-killed here. And maybe a bit of healing. It's not much. But if we can get a couple stacks of Invis 2, we should be safe. Famous last words. Yeah, once he can't hit us, and he's silenced... this is going to be very close, but... maybe we start trying to punch Fenrir now? We got a couple damage up, so... 0, of course. Yeah, we need to keep using those abilities. Okay, so the Geomancer can't do damage. We end up spending half our turns using control here. Well, let's do what we can. Maybe we'll attack now, see how that looks. 100 damage. Yeah, we're not doing much. Might as well go plus 20% again. Doesn't seem to make any real difference. I think we just need to kill this. And... hope that we've got enough evasion. Alright, so Fenrir's silenced. They're going to waste a lot of turns. I don't think we can control them. We could try one more status, but that's it. 182. I guess we could... I forgot I had the fire staff. Okay, we got him. Alright, you know what? For a really bad battle, that worked out. I still don't know what the Beastmaster quest is here, but that was another... over an hour. Still feels like I've got nothing done today. That was another success in terms of getting summons. I think all I really want to do today is... I mean, we're already over time for episodes. I mostly just want to learn one Spellblade thing on camera, so you guys can see how it works. And then I'll probably do a bunch of off-screen grinding, because I feel like my playthrough is really slowing down right now, and it's... this group needs something that I don't got. And I don't know how to get it. So I'm hoping leveling up or just practicing maybe off camera a little bit, or I don't know. We might just have a pretty weak party. I think Summoner is like decent, except not very good at killing stuff. Spellblade seems pretty weak. Beastmaster, I'm not sure. But let's see if I can pick up the Fire Blade upgrade. It's like the level 1 one. And there's lots of enemies that are weak to fire near here. Not this close, but maybe just do this. Sure, this will work. Fire enchantment. We're at like 30 already. We just need a little bit more. Probably need to make sure I don't kill them accidentally. I'm still not totally sold on the Geomancy bells just yet. I think by going to the right dungeon, saving up spells, like, I think they're okay. Maybe good. But very much need to be promoted. Unpromoted, pretty mid, but promoted helps a lot. But I'm not sure if my Spellblade will ever feel good. Now, the runic ability, yes, definitely helps. But it also hinders us almost as much. So, a little bit of good, a little bit of bad. Were giants weak to anything? Like... trying to think if there's any way I can charge something else up. I have a feeling like Bio has nothing that's weak against it, so you're like, I think you get points no matter what you kill if you once you've promoted and you do this. Maybe you could do like runic, and then we charge it up with our abilities rather than like waiting for the enemies. Like, would this be efficient? So it doesn't work on cast items. Doesn't work on that either. Never mind. I was thinking there might be a way to... I guess if you had a white or a black mage, you could sort of feed into it. And then you could do an attack all. So leveling up some of these elemental spells is going to be a real pain. Because instead of taking advantage of a weakness, instead of getting 5 per kill, we're only going to get 2. So that's going to take a lot longer. I mean, this should do it. I'm still going to mage staff because there's too many. I only need 1 kill with the sword, and that we should get that. Don't kill everything. Thank you. Usually I want it to kill everything, but today, no. Okay, so we've finished the fire thing. I thought I have definitely seen my guy Runic something. I thought from Geomancy, but we're testing. Because if it's always compatible, then we don't have to worry about that. That's great, but it would also be kind of nice to be able to charge it up, maybe. Anyway, that gives us Fire 2. So the main difference is plus 20% crit. So I don't think there's any reason to use End Fire anymore. You pretty much always want End Fire 2. I don't know. Maybe they all have decent buffs. Basically giving yourself Fire, which might help, and 20% crit chance. Like, that's... I mean, let's test it out once. Like, we were one-shotting these enemies anyway, right? So, it doesn't matter. But against a boss that's weak to fire, it would probably help a bit. I have a feeling that the real build for Mystic Knights is to have them buffing their allies. But oftentimes, the guy with the big sword is the one that you want swinging it, so... I mean, he's hitting reasonably hard. Let me just see how much damage we can pull off with Ash here. Probably, like, what class would be good to be buffed? Maybe being able to... Because the monk generally just punches. I mean, that did a lot of damage. If we end up at level 30 by the time you come back, I apologize. It's just... I would rather do it off camera than on camera. And honestly, our team feels pretty bad. So some levels isn't going to hurt. But I won't do any progression. I won't be going to get more summons or anything. We'll save that for... I hadn't even thought of it. It is possible there's another summon in Gaia. I got my airship and I was like... Because Crescent Lake didn't have any and Melman didn't have any... I'm like, there's probably no more summons inside towns. Yeah, there's one right here. You know what? I'll save this. Well, we'll save it for next time. Something to look forward to. It's probably the other level 6 one. Thanks for watching, folks. I hope you've enjoyed. I'll see you next time. Sorry for being a bit scatterbrained. This party is it's kind of breaking my head. It's complicated and it doesn't feel very strong. So trying to make it work. Anyway, that's all for now. Hope you guys have enjoyed. See you next time.